Hey, hi folks. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel, Akash here. Today we'll be going to understand about the concept of batch size in the machine learning. We'll break it down into simpler terms so that everyone can understand this particular terminology is basically, folks. So what I will be going to do it, basically the things day 5 interview preparation was not coming basically due to the some reason, folks. I was just experimenting with understanding how what are the key things that you are liking or not. So I explored the stuffs. I tried to simplify the concept. The things was not working well. So what I felt is like what I will be going to do is I will be going to continuing this data science interview prep series. Okay, so the most of the peoples are liking this particular thing. So what I am feeling is like now day 5 I will be going to structureize by part whatever how many number of questions which I feel this particular day has to be covered. So I will be going to cover into the parts. Okay, so I will be not going to uh, do this particularly into the one whole video. Let me know in the comment section below how you like this particularly. So I will be going to structure that particular things. Okay, so let's get dive into this particular videos, folks. Like try to understand like what we'll be going to cover in this particular video. Okay, so we will be going to understand the batch size, but the batch size will be going to understand in the machine learning and explore the use case, how the batch size impacts the model training. We'll apply the concept in Python code, and at the last, we'll be going to summarize. Okay, so we'll try to understand first of all what is a batch size here. So concept is like batch size. What is a batch size basically, folks? Batch size refers to the number of training example utilized in one iteration. In simpler terms, what we can tell is like it's like a dividing your data into the smaller groups or batches to train your machine learning model instead of using all the data at once, basically. Okay, so like imagine we are building a model to predict the house prices. Okay, our data set contains the information like square footage, number of bedrooms, location, and price. By adjusting the batch size, we can see this how it affects the model accuracy. We will going to see how it will affect the model accuracy and training time. So we'll try to understand with the use case so that you will be understanding the concept and use cases pretty understanding. So at the last, what we'll be going to do, I will just going to create a one particular flow that so that you will able to understand that particularly. Okay, I hope you understood the concept and use case. So we'll be going to understand how we will be going to apply this particular use case with the particular example so that you will be understanding pretty well what is a particular batch size is all about, and we'll be going to use a inbuilt data set which is available in Scikit-Learn. Yes, folks. So I'm just selected this particular directory. So I have created this particular folder. So I will be creating a new notebook here. So what I will do is I will maintain one particular notebook. So in that everything I will be going to put it here. Okay, so that it will be very easy for us. Okay, now onwards. So we'll just select this particular kernel and we'll just write it as data science interview preparation. So, so try to make it very simpler things, folks. I have seen the people like they will make the particular concepts like very complicated. It is not that much hard. Okay, so whatever I have created here, what is the batch size? So I will just write it here as copy this particular concept. Okay, so I will make this particular as a markdown. Okay, so you will try to understand what is a batch size first, then try to understand the concept. Okay, what is a concept and what we'll be going to understand the use case. So how it affects the model accuracy. This is a particular thing in general terms you have to understand. Okay, use case, I hope you understood, right? So we imagine you are building a model house prices of dataset information, square footage, number of bedroom, location, price. By adjusting the batch size, we can see how it affects the model accuracy and training time. Okay, so I hope you understood. So the next thing what we'll be going to do is we will be going to applying the concept in use case. So you will be understanding this particular concept not theoretically. Also, you will be understanding practical aspect as well, folks. So whenever you are approaching this particular problem, what is that? You will be able to approach this particular question with respect to particular practical example. Okay, so that you will be not going anywhere. Okay, so let's dive into the Python code to understand the better. So we'll be going to use a famous data set that, as you have aware, the famous data set like Boston housing data set. Okay, we'll be going to use which kind of a data set? That is a Boston housing data set basically, folks. Okay, so we'll be going to take that data set. So you will be try to understand. Let's get started with understanding what this particular data set is all about and try to understand with respect to one particular example. Okay, so we'll try to understand with taking the dataset Boston housing dataset by using which library? Scikit-Learn. Okay, by using Scikit-Learn library, that is we have Scikit-Learn library. Okay, so this is a particular library we have. So we will be using this particular libraries. Okay, so applying the concept, I hope you got the idea. So what we'll be going to do, we will just try to write hit a tab sklearn. It's a sklearn. Okay, so sklearn dot datasets. Okay, from sklearn dot datasets import load. I don't know what is happening, but we'll just try to use it. You will able to understand this particular thing, folks. Is not able to do it, so import load Boston. Okay, so we'll just try to execute this particular thing, so you will able to see this what is telling. Okay, from sklearn dot dataset. Okay, so what it is telling is input error. Maybe we have to install something, I guess. Okay, folks, why what I was making a mistake here is like load Boston like previous scikit-learn packages we had. Okay, so now we have another particular library in the dataset itself, like fetch California housing. So what you have to do is you have to use this fetch California. Okay, so fetch underscore California housing. Okay, so you can use this particular library basically. So second library we'll be going to use is to splitting the data. So train and test we will do usually, right? So for that, so from sklearn, okay, from sklearn dot model selection import train. See, we got. So we are splitting the data. We are adding the that particular library as well. For pre-processing the particular data, we are using the standard scaler. So what we'll be going to use is from sklearn. So I will be not talking you this particular thing. You will be able to understand as we proceed further. Okay. All right, folks. So what I did is basically instead of writing from the scratch, I pasted the code. So, okay, so I will just show you here what is the things we are doing here. We are importing the library that California housing, and we are just importing the model selection, we're splitting the data. We are scaling that particular pre-processing the data. We are using the linear model, which is stochastic gradient descent regression, which we are using here basically to demonstrate this batch size basically. So we are using the NumPy library here, and here what I'm doing is I'm just loading the data set. Okay, so this particular we have the California housing particular function which will load the housing data set, and we are just dividing into the data part and the target part. Okay, so dependent and independent variable we are dividing, and here we are just dividing our data into the training and testing. We are just telling that test size will be this, and we are just standardizing into a one particular format. Okay, so scaling the data, the train fit transform for the train data, test data, we are just transforming that particular data, and we are just creating the stochastic gradient regressor model, which will be the iteration up to the 1000. Okay, one iteration equal to one batch size, right? So we are using certain like that max iteration, and total of this particular one 10 to the power of minus 3 basically. So this is a particular total of loss function. We are just experimenting with the batch size, and so that you will able to understand. For the batch has 16, so what is a particular accuracy test score? What is a test score? So you will be able to understand how the things is able to understand, like number of approaches. I hope you got the clarity in the previous video what is an approach is about. So this is all about, folks. The particular video is all about like batch size is all about. Whenever anyone asks you, this is pretty much understand one thing, folks. Okay, pretty much understand one thing. So we'll take one particular obsidian. So try to explain you with that respect to that. Okay, so let's just give me a second. Okay, so what I do is I will just create a one new canvas. So anybody asks you what is a batch size. So first what you have to come, what is the things that you have to remember? What you have to remember first? You have to understand the concept. You have to explain them the concept, right? So what you will be going to do it? Just try to answer it. Okay. If you forget, just go back to this particular notebook, try to understand. Batch size refers to what number of training examples utilized in one iteration. So, okay, so understand these keywords, folks. You have to understand the keywords and explain them. Number of training examples in one iteration, which is nothing but a batch size. Okay, so this is a thing which you have to talk about it. Okay, so batch size is this, and uh, then after that you have to try to take on one particular use case. Okay, you imagine we are building a model predict house prices. That dataset contains a square footage, number of bedrooms, location, and price. By adjusting the batch size, we can see how it affects the model accuracy and training time. Okay, so if you want, you can explain the particular with the example. This particular example, you can give it to them so that they can correlate the things. Okay, so another thing what you have to do is you have to give the example. Okay, so Python demonstration. So I will just write it here, Python demo. So here where I copied the particular code sample. So I will just copy here. So you can go through that basically. So by yourself, folks. Okay, I am doing in my particular Obsidian. So you can do it like likewise, folks. Okay. So this is a particular jumble kind of a code it will be going to create it. So what I feel, don't add it here. Okay, just remove this particularly, and add this particular diagram. Okay, one by one, how the steps you did it. Okay, so I will just for now I will just show you like this is a first what you did. You did uh, importing the data set. So what you do is like take a screenshot of this and add it in the Obsidian basically. So that will help you out to understand nothing apart from that, folks. Okay, you imported the data set, then you load the data set, how you did it. So try explaining them will be a better. Okay, so that you can revise the thing once again. Okay, load the data set, split the data set. These three things I will just write it here so that okay, split the data set. Okay, then you create the stochastic gradient descent, and you will be understanding. If you feel like I'm talking jargon words, let me know in the comment section below, folks. What are the kind of things that you wanted to have? Okay, so that I can understand about what's your thought process is all about. Okay, so this is all about the things, folks, like what's the batch size is all about. Okay, in the next video we'll be going to discuss about another question, data science interview question. So let me know in comment down below, folks. That's it about this video. I hope you understood this particular video.